Hey, welcome to another pitch party, our second one. I'm one of the investor judges from Takash, and Brian is over there. You want to come down and see? No? Brian's from. Does everyone know Brian?
No, not everyone.
No, you can introduce yourself in a minute. Does everyone know me? No, maybe not. Some of you. Okay. So I've been here 8 years. I've been doing investing. I'm a startup guy. Created a few companies, invest in a few. My main baby is Takash. Basically, it's competition to Gcash, PayMaya, but now we're changing focus a little bit. But I'll show you what we're doing. So basically, it's e-money, rewards, cryptocurrencies as an e-wallet, and then application development to develop lots of things on top of that to make use of it. So this is going to be a quick presentation. And it's in a format that I like to see when someone's presenting. I wouldn't say it was a perfect pitch, but I'm going to pitch to you guys. So, yeah, go next one. I think it's out. So, first of all, you state the problem. So, I think you probably all agree that cash is inefficient in this country, leads to corruption. It's pretty dirty when you start, you figure out where that money's been and what's happened to the hands that are handling it. It's pretty dirty. Apart from the usual problems with cash. But everyone likes it here. It's hard to move people away from cash. Next. So our solution is to build apps and services that embed the use of digital money. And that's not just money, it could be Libra in the future, it could be any kind of value. Gain points, rewards, stuff like that. And what we allow others to do is to build applications on top of our platform that will allow you to build an app in a few hours. And then embed all the usual things, the wallets and lots of other things that I'll show you in a minute. Next. So our core app is the money depositing, all the usual things you might expect from an e-wallet, including QR code payments, NFC payments, and so on. I don't want to get into that, that's quite extensive. We also do loans, peer-to-peer lending. We have quite an extensive usage of rewards, creating coupons, you can create your own currencies, that sort of thing. A lot of it can be based on blockchain, or it doesn't have to be. It could be closed loop. So the point of me doing this is I saw inefficiencies here when I first came to the Philippines. I wanted to see more done with online payment methods, but it was very difficult to plug into the existing infrastructures. So micropayments actually enable new business models. So if you want to charge 1 or 2 pesos for something, it's very difficult to do actually anywhere in the world, not just here. Next. So we built the core wallet, and now we're building games because this is an easy way for us to bring in customers. For example, you can go in and win some free money, free Bitcoin. Just go in there. It's paid for with advertising, but allows you to win something. So we're going to do a lot more on that. We created a game based a little bit by Pokemon, so you go to places and it rewards you wherever you go. But you can build your own games on top of our platform. Next. So, for example, you can see we've got a few applications. Some of those are live, some we're still building, and some developers are now developing applications to go on top. So as of about a week ago, if you're a developer, you can download the repo, you can start building straight away. You can download the APK to see what you've got. We've already got a shopping app up there, shopping modules, news modules. We're going to be adding a lot more. So that allows you to go in, white label it, do whatever you want, with the wallets already embedded in, everything is already done, logins, etc. It's quite easy to do, so even if you're not a developer, you can go in and use UX markup if you're used to CSS and so on. But you can extend it with JavaScript, and that basically creates a cross-platform native app. So we use Fuse Tools, which is open source, it's pretty easy. And this is all detailed on our website. So we built standalone apps. You can build a standalone app and the same module inside Takash. So how many of you know WeChat in China? All right, so do you know about the mini program system over there? They opened up like a couple of years ago, and there's over 1 million apps already. They're all available inside the app. So we can use QR codes to identify the apps and bring it up really quickly. So we're building a tutorials module, allow you to create a tutorial, identify it with a QR code, so you can just apply that anywhere. The user just scans it and up comes a tutorial directly. So it's useful in businesses linking the outside world with the app. That's just one use case. So we're following the same steps as WeChat and Alipay in China, building an app ecosystem. But we go one step further, and you can actually build the apps yourself as well. So we're building, we've got NFC app for offline money. We're building a Sari store app, for example. You can do the same. Next. So all of these things, if you're pitching tonight, you've got the problem, the solution, what you've done, show me something you've actually done. Either with a video or with screenshots, or if you've got mock-ups or whatever. I've had so many pictures where they just put the text up and I can't see anything. I want to see something. If you've got a real product, then show it. And if you've got a working product, then you could put a video up for 30 seconds. So your business model, this is how we make money. MDR fees, advertising and so on. So you need a business model. You can show how I'm going to make money if I invest in you. Next. Marketing, for us, it's quite simple. For others, we ask how much is it going to cost to get the business. For me, it's very difficult. I build apps. I'm not very good at marketing. So how to get around that? I get you to build the apps and bring the customers, and we share the customer base. So I give you tools to do it, you bring the customers in, and we both make money. Bottom line is organic growth with benefits to everyone in the ecosystem. Next. So there's a team behind us of 20 developers, 20 admin, 20 developers in India, 2 in this country. It's hard to keep developers here because they go abroad and make more money. One of the things I want to do is keep people here, developing their own apps, working with us, rather than going work for another company outside the country. So next, I think that's one last thing. You should always ask. I'm going to ask Brian here for this investment. Next. So I'm seeking a small financial investment, please, sir. Next. There you go. Can you manage that? No? Okay.
How many percent equity?
Oh, well, negotiable. Next. Next. I don't know. I mean, Grab got it. They got a lot of money, right? So you never know. The point is, you need to put up what you want to raise, and again, what the deal is. You know, how much do I get for it? And it's nice if you can say how much money you're going to make. You know, in the next year or two, and when I'm going to get my money back. So $1 billion, give you 6 months. Okay, next. And then you provide some information at the end just so you can get in touch. So you can go to developer.tagcash.com, download the repos. There's a full API library in there to plug in. So that's my small pitch, but it also gives you an idea of how you should be pitching. Something really simple. You notice there's not a lot of text there. Some graphics, something to show what I've done, and the ask. So let's hope I see some pictures tonight that interest me. Yeah, I'm interested in anything obviously that makes money, that can make an impact. I've invested in Society 8, which is a retail chain, and now we're building the online side of that. And that impacts thousands of micro businesses. That allows them to resell through our stores all over the country. And then TagCash uses the payment method to pay them every day. So that's just one company. I'm interested in companies that can impact a lot more people than I can do on my own. That's us personally. And anything where you think you can develop on top of our platform that will bring customers to it, for me that's a form of marketing, so I'll invest in that rather than paying per customer through advertising and so on. So anyway, without further ado, who's the first pitch? So I'm going to sit down there with Brian and we're going to heckle whoever's going to pitch. And, huh? Oh yeah, so Brian, come and say something.
Hi guys, my name is Ryan. I run a company called RGC. We're a digital marketing company. We also have our own engineering team as well. But I think we're more popular on our brand called MyTV. So we manage influencers and we create video content as well.
But you invest as well.
We're willing to invest in resources as long as it actually benefits to as long as it's actually in line to our business.
So it's very similar to what I'm doing, but
yeah.
I'm a little bit more broad.
Yeah.
So I might even be investing in his business. So.
$1 billion?
No, but maybe less.
Cool. G'day guys, my name is Andrew. I'm Andrew Diamante. So today I'm going to introduce you Game. So Game is basically where every game is not the same. So the simple concept for this one is, sorry, before that on. So YouTube, it's basically a YouTuber studio geared towards helping content creators collaborate, shoot, edit, and produce video content through a gamified format. Sweet. So, next slide, please. So the ask is basically 2 million for a 20% stake of the company. Cool. Next slide, please. So the background there is the whole concept is gamification, being able to create an interactivity between the users and the advertisers along with the content creators. So we basically use marketing to a certain extent that we could really create interactivity with all the users. Next slide, please. So the simple concept as well for us as the content creators, or pretty much the people creating the content, is we want to become a multi-channel network in YouTube. So basically an MCN is basically a couple of people that come together to really help out YouTubers and also content creators to create content. We basically assist, at the same time we provide the resources that we could really help them out and produce the content. Next slide, please. So just a few formats that are really successful are just for laughs. So the idea with this one is it's non-verbal. So the beauty of this is you don't need context to really understand it. So this is the kind of format that I really want to push through because it works outside of Cebu, but at the same time it works for pretty much everyone else. You could be Chinese, you could be Japanese, you could be anyone, you could still understand it. Next slide, please. The other one is also sustainable. So the first one was successful, second one is sustainable format. So the biggest thing, especially with most influencers, is it takes a while to really create content. It takes a while to create a vlog. So if it's sustainable, it's easier to make. So the idea here is we want to create something like React Channel, which produces a bunch of content that's really sustainable and you can just keep repeating it. Next slide, please. So try not to laugh, try not to dance, try not to react. These are the simple concepts that are super easy to make because it's you basically just throw in a different topic and it's something else. So it's the same format, you just repeat. But the main thing here is its consistency. You make a lot of content. Next slide, please. This one as well, versus, so guess the song, guess the movie, trivia. So the one thing that I really bring into the picture here is I create the execution for it. So I direct, I produce, and also edit most of the stuff. But the idea here is we could really expand to a greater audience and just create a funnel of content creation for a lot of viewers, especially non-Cebuanos. Because the idea with a lot of video created here in Cebu is it's usually made for Cebuanos, only for Cebuanos. But I really want to create a tap outside of the population, outside of Cebu, but with the Cebuanos. Next slide, please. Another sustainable format is this channel called JK Films, JK News and JK Party. What they do is they basically come up with news, games, and they just have fun. Next slide, please. So this one here, this is basically just them tackling with news. So they talk about social media, they talk about random, and they talk about trending things. So all it is just 3 cameras, just in one table, and they just talk about everything and anything. And the idea there is just a simple format that you could really sustain. Next slide, please. So Just Kidding Party it's basically team building games here. So they just play games. Think of it game night, but with a video. And the idea there is you want to get the people going and really get them to interact with you. Next slide, please. So one last thing here as well is BuzzFeed format. It's pretty known. A lot of people know it. This one here, especially the Worth It series. So it's just 1 versus 50 versus 100. So you compare things. Next slide, please. So this one here, food, go, things. It's all about the experience, and you just want to compare it. So it gives you a chance to interact with advertisers. Next slide, please. So the formula here is just create consistent content, gamify the experience. Gamify the experience both for viewers and advertisers. Lastly, you expand on digital assets. So you exit through audiobooks, you exit through merchandise or anything else. And basically you become the marketing arm or production arm for most cases. And lastly, it's the timeline. This one here. So we won't be making a lot of money here, but then this is when we exit out. Cool, that's it.
So, first of all, I got to ask, what's your background?
Background is marketing.
Nothing in game production, in video production?
A little bit of video production, sorry. So, because I actually run a company of my own, and we actually do a lot of marketing for most companies. So, Yeah, a bit of my background would be video. I produce content. I podcast. Yes, there you go.
What about, so you're going to produce content that gets delivered how? On YouTube? Or
On YouTube, yes.
only on YouTube?
Only on YouTube. Because the idea there is YouTube is so untapped here in the Philippines, especially Cebu. In Manila, they've been able to tap into it, but in YouTube, for Cebu, it's not super tapped. It's mostly Facebook, it's mostly Instagram, but not a lot of people have been able to make over a million followers or subscribers here in Cebu.
So we're also into video production.
Yes.
We're also trying to build content creators as well. The biggest challenge there is scalability.
Yes.
Like how do you actually, build 200 videos per day, and that's also the same challenge that ABS event is trying to do, like the MCN model. They did that.
Yes.
For a time, they actually got to 800,000 creators, but it never worked out for them.
Right.
So it's difficult. It's really difficult. Like even BuzzFeed, they're losing a lot of money.
Yes.
So how does it make a difference from what you're trying to do?
I think for me, it's just more of being able to start it here in Cebu, because there's a lot of money to be made for Cebu, especially with YouTube. However, the thing is, YouTuber studios aren't here in Cebu yet, and I think at the start we will initially, of course, lose money. But the idea there is we will.
I don't like losing money. I don't like
Sorry,
losing money.
let me rephrase that one. So it's more of an investment at the start. There you go. Sorry. So the idea there is we really invest at the start, because the idea there is we really want to get everyone to get into it and more understand
You're going to do it just in Cebu?
Sorry.
Just in Cebu?
Yes, because I'm based in Cebu, so I really want to help out Cebu as well.
Why are you limiting yourself?
It's not really limiting, because the idea there is we want to branch out of Cebu. So we're creating content not only for Cebu, but we're creating content for global. So that's why we've got the non-verbals, the English formats.
If you do get the 2 million investment, like how many, how long is the runway? How long?
Timeline here. So pretty much for me, the way I see it is create the buffer of content for the next few months from September to December, and then we could create a gamified campaign. So pretty much all the videos that are going to be created for the 3-month span, that's all going to be embedded with gamified.
How many videos you can actually create for 2 million?
For 2 million?
In that short span of time.
Short span of time. From the looks of it, depending on the amount of video editors that I could really get, I'm pretty sure I could easily over 1,000 videos. Easily.
And these are shows that you can do continuously.
Continuously.
Right? So you're making stars
Yes.
out of the people there.
Yes.
And that's kind of what you're doing as well.
Yeah, but the biggest challenge is you can produce the video, but the biggest challenge, how sure are you that those videos will actually get 200,000 hits, 300,000 hits?
And you're going to make money on advertising, right?
Advertising and also cashing out
Are you hooked
on...
in with the ad agencies?
No, just through YouTube, but at the same time I'm going to be able to cash out with digital merchandise and also...
You need to work with ad agencies so you can actually get that income. If you're depending on just the YouTube income...
Oh, no. So the other margin that I'm also looking into is also being a production arm and marketing arm.
Well, I'm interested in, because I'm looking at investing in podcasting.
Yes.
Company. So I'm interested in media being delivered from Kakash. There's another module for bringing people in. So I think Kumu is doing something with gamification of content, right? And Pedro...
Kumu, I'm sorry?
Kumu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know about that? You should know your competition, right? Pedro started and failed very quickly.
Confetti was a good one, actually. Yes.
But I'm interested in talking to you, maybe modifying this a little bit,
Yes. Sure.
tweak it for my concern, because 2 million is not a lot to put in for a lot of video content, and I have a video production setup I started with.
Oh, perfect. Because honestly, the 2 million I just put in there is just more for just if there isn't any production.
The 2 million for 20%, you have nothing right now, right?
Sorry.
You have nothing at the moment. It's just an idea.
No, I've got it. So, because I really run a marketing company.
Yeah,
So-
what have you got?
What, right now? I've got quite a few video equipments and I've got...
Okay, well, we'll talk about that later.
Sure, sounds good.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Everyone.
Thank you. Hi everyone, good evening. So I'm Carl Angelo Orales, CEO and President of PH. So actually I'm from Makati. So I arrived here earlier 4 p.m. just to join the pitch party. So next slide please. So my company is aggregator like Grab, Airbnb, and Angkas, but specifically for rental services. Next slide please. So what are we trying to solve? So why Pahiram exists? So we would like to solve. Return. Previous slide.
Back to back.
Back. Please. So we would like to solve the habit of Filipino impulsive buyers. So for example, the millennials travel goals. They plan to purchase like GoPros. Then they will be using it for a day or two. Then after that, they won't be using it anymore. For like OFWs, they've been thinking to buy a car. Then after a month, they'll be returning to abroad. Then the car will be stuck on their garage.
If you can stop me impulsive buying, that'd be good.
Yeah. So next slide, please. So we can turn those bad purchases to a business investment. So those GoPros, drones, or cars, they can list it on our website. So they can list it for rent. Okay. So your unused cars will be listed to Pahiram.ph. Then it will be rent out to people. So the first one is we cure, but we believe that prevention is better than cure. So another set of customers will be can try a product first before actually trying to buy the real thing. So for example, I would like to buy a GoPro, but I am not sure if I can use it every day. So what if I try to rent it first, then after experiencing the real thing, I would like to decide if will I gonna buy it or just renting it out for a day is good. Next please. So lack of the problems in rental industry will be the lack of presence actually, online presence. So mostly rental businesses in the Philippines is marketed on Facebook. Difficulty on finding rental items. So right now, I don't know where to find GoPro for rent. I don't know where to find stabilizer for rent, for any items that I want to rent. So we will be putting it on a single platform. Next. So the solution is to provide a single platform for those who are interested in rental industry. Next. So the business model is aggregator. So we'll be getting commission on each booking. So for example, someone book GoPro for 10 days.
We get the idea. Go on.
Next. So currently in my company, I already have a drone rental and a car rental company, which is earning sustainable.
You have two separate companies.
Yes, I do have separate companies. So I'm planning to tap the company on the Pahiram.ph.
You're gonna merge everything.
Yes, I'm gonna merge everything. So I'm earning right now like 2 million annual on the merge.
2 million sales.
Yes, 2 million sales. Well, because I own everything.
Oh, you own everything.
Yes.
Okay. So you're renting it out.
Yes, everything it out. So I'm planning to get inventory from other people to rent it out.
So you're going to take in everything, or you're going to buy everything and then rent it
No,
out?
no. I'm gonna.
Marketplace.
Yes, a marketplace.
One.
Next. So my plan for 2020, 2021, and 2022, I'll be investing more 30% for marketing to get 500 pesos per customer acquisition in a very conservative two days per customer rental. So usually in a car rental, customer rented for 30 days or more. So I just put a 2 days conservative rental. So the current competitor will be the Facebook Marketplace or Facebook groups. Next, please. So this is the current website we have. Actually, we will be launching tomorrow. So kindly visit Pahiram.ph by tomorrow. So this is what we have. You can list your items. Then your items will be approved first by the admin if your items is being listed properly. So to avoid trolls. Next. So then currently anyone can book item for rent. Next.
That's it.
So
Time's up. First question is, what's stopping the biggest, like, you know Carousel, right?
Yes.
It used to be OLX. So they have a big market. People
Yes,
go to.
yes,
What's to
yes.
stop them just saying, oh, that's a good opportunity, we're just going to put a rental thing out there. And instantly they got a rental.
So the difference between Carousel and us, so we are an aggregator. Like in rentals, we observe that people need a hands-on customer service. So if you rent an items, you need to be talking to a certain customer.
Yeah, but that's time consuming.
Yes, because
Then you're going to have to employ lots more people to do
because
that.
in rentals, in car rental alone, in a month rental it costs 50,000 pesos.
Well, why don't you just settle on car rentals then? Just that one segment. Because that seems to be
Yes.
the biggest, you know.
No, drone rental in gadget is.
I know you're into drone rentals. so
Yes,
that's-
it's also big. So
Yeah.
a daily rent of
It
drones
is
is
because you own it and
1,500.
you're renting
Yes.
it, but doing it as a marketplace, I don't think people are going to put their drone up because it damages it.
Challenge for hardware is how do you protect it in insurance?
Yeah.
Like, I know there was a company in the US that did that kind of business model. It didn't work out because his biggest challenge was insurance. That's a for example.
for cars or for anything?
No, for gadgets, specifically for gadgets. Like it's the same. I have lawnmower, my neighbor rents a lawnmower, but what if
Yeah.
my neighbor breaks it? Right?
I think, yeah, I think that market is not sustainable, but I do think the car rental, like, because people just want to rent their cars out,
Yes,
and
yes.
they're not using it. So I think that is a bigger market for you. Since you already have a company with that, why don't you push that alone?
So what we're planning is we can get free marketing on other items.
Right.
So we're gonna focus.
No one's doing the car, you know, the peer-to-peer car rental like Churro in America. So why don't you just concentrate on that? So I'm just giving a bit of advice.
Yes.
So how much money are you looking for?
So I'm asking 5 million for 10%.
Yeah.
I think there's one vertical if you're doing aggregator. Like there's a company called Rent the Runway. So they're the same idea. You're renting expensive clothes. In a way, you can actually protect it with insurance, by credit card. But it's actually much more easier to move things around. And that has already as a market. Like rather than girls actually buying clothes, they can actually one dress for one.
Yes.
The gadget's a little bit more complicated. There's a lot of more things. What if I rent it, it doesn't work? What if I actually return it, then it's actually broken? So you need to put a lot of customer service.
I'm gonna correct you. So an aggregator is set the standards of all the items. So like Grab, you're gonna set a standards for requirements on each suppliers.
Let's
So
see, let me ask the crowd. If any of you've got expensive gadgets, would you put it on a platform for other people to do? And would you? Just the marketplace. You'd want to rent it, but you know, if you want to rent a drone or anything that needs support or could break, and you have to be responsible for it, an insurance company probably wouldn't do it. But cars, would you rent my Ferrari for a day? No, I don't have one, but if I had one, it's easier to insure.
Pahiram will be growing based on, for example, each category will.
Yeah, but if you're going to do lots of categories, that's going to be a problem for you.
No, each category will depend on the user listings. So we're gonna approve on what categories we will be creating next.
I just think you're trying to do too much at the same time. You're trying to create a marketplace that it's easier to target a vertical where you can get some feedback and say, would you want to do that?
Yes,
and
yes,
maybe then
that's
add
what
more
are we
vertical.
going. That's what are we going to do.
Well,
So-
just pick the
So
driving one.
excuse me. So if you're gonna list your item, it won't appear on the website immediately because we're gonna review all the items being listed. So if we're gonna observe if there's
But
attraction on a certain category.
I've just done a focus session.
So we won't be listing those. We won't be focusing what if
Okay.
we are targeting who is willing.
Well, they're not willing.
Yes. So
That's your market.
they're the partners. If they don't want to rent out their items, it's okay. So we're
But you want to attract them to put their items with you, right? A marketplace. So if they're not willing
so
to do
we
that,
if they're what do you call this? They're responsible buyers. They are not our targets. So our targets
they're responsible.
is the impulsive buyers.
Any impulsive buyers here? You can ask the guys around here. Ask some feedback later on.
Yeah.
See if you
Take
get
them.
some user feedback. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Steven and I'm from Offstream Tech Studios. So we are also part of DTI Startup Island mentoring program, also Y Combinator Startup School. So today I'll be telling a story about a day in the life of a recruiter. Here our character is Rina the recruiter and her team of 3. So she's a typical recruitment staff for a BPO that constantly hires. So on a daily basis, what she does is that they check multiple applications from the different sources, including email and walk-ins. And also, they have Excel to keep track of thousands of the applicants, so the information and resumes are not in one place. And to top all of that, they spend 16 hours each day just phone screening interviews for 100 people. So all of these are done manually. So to put it into scale, the whole industry is spending 321 million just because of this inefficient recruitment method. So on top of this operational cost, that also brings the recruiter productivity really low. So to give you a perspective on how it looks like on an industry level, there are about 850 BPOs registered in the Philippines. So that's about 3,000 RINAs. So when we look at a large corp scale, that's about 4,044 companies or 12,000 RINAs. So, and this is still expected to grow because the Philippines is the top 2 in the global destinations for outsourcing. We have more than 1.3 million in outsourced employees, and this is still expected to grow by 58% in the next 2 years. So because of this, the demand of the BPO skilled workers continue to grow, and on top of that, we have this 20% annual attrition rate. So because of these 2 factors, hiring rate increases, but also inefficiency increases. So what we present is, our solution is RecruitStream. We enable fast hiring for fast-growing companies through a seamless recruitment experience. So what we do is we streamline, screen, and select. So currently, this is how Rina sources their applicants from manually checking the different job applications from multiple sources. So our solution is that we are pulling applications from the different market postings, and we also create here a job portal so that all of those applications will be streamlined in one database. And on screening, while Rina manually checks different documents, files, and references to view their applicant information, what we do is that since all of the information is stored in one database, we make it easy for the recruiters to view information and their resumes. Related to the phone screenings, right now it's an average to spend 16 hours each day for the phone screening, and what we do to solve that is to automate the phone screening part. So you could just automate the phone interviews in one click. We do that by simply calling the applicants based on an inputted schedule, and then the system asks pre-recorded interview questions, and then later on, the recruiter could review the recorded responses at their own time. And that could be through text or audio. So for the selecting of candidates, right now they have no visual pipelining, and it takes time to schedule and call the applicants for appointment. So what we do is that we make it easy for the applicants to promote themselves into the pipelining through the different hiring stages, such as new, screen, for interview, and offered, and hired. And we also automated the appointment setters that work similarly as the automated phone interviews. You just need to input the appointment schedule, and then the system will call the applicants and getting the response, whether they're going, decline, or they have another preferred date and time. And because of this one, there is a reduced turnaround time to screen and hire, an increase in recruiter productivity, and increased operational efficiency savings. So this is something that Rina approves. Right? So for the market size, we currently have 850 BPOs registered in the Philippines, and we are planning to target 170, which is the 20% market share. And later on, we will be expanding to the large corporations in the Philippines, which has a total market of 4,044. And then we'll be tackling 20% of market share, which is 808. So for the business model, we're closing this as subscription, strictly on an annual basis at 240,000 per year. So that translates as 20,000 agreements, but again, we're closing this as annual subscription.
So 20,000 per month you're charging?
Yes. Okay, so
And
for
anyone actually paying that?
Companies are paying more for the manual employees, so this is, yeah. Okay.
They're not paying you right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so at 20% of the market share, that would give us 40.8 million in annual recurring revenue. And for the large corp target market plus the initial BPO target market, that would give us 234 million in annual recurring revenue. So for the founders, I'm Stephen. I'm handling the CEO role. I have background in Lean Six Sigma and tech project management. And my partner is Joshua. He's a solution architect and tech lead, and he's handling the CTO role. And both of us have strong multinational corporate experience in managing and developing B2B tech solutions. So our ask is 1.5 million for 7% equity stake with 5% royalty per sale. So we will use this money for an 18-month runway to fast-track customer acquisition in Cebu and Manila. So join us in our growth story. We are Recruitstream, and we enable fast hiring for fast-growing companies. Thank you.
So, my first question is,
Yes.
are you actually generating anything right now? Are you
Right
taking
now,
any money?
yes. Right now we're still in MVP. Will be launching in 2 months, but
Have you got any customers that have actually said we are going to pay 20,000?
we're still on that process. We're still constantly doing
So
our
the answer's
solution.
no.
Yes.
Right. No or yes?
Yes.
Easy, right? You know this competition, right? Like Talk Push. You know that's one of your competitions. They've been doing
Sorry?
this for a while. Talk Push.
12 push.
Talk Push.
Talk push.
You know that?
Are they specific to
Oh, yeah.
recruitment?
Very much so.
Okay.
Basically, what you're doing with the automated selection process, they've been doing that and they're growing.
Okay.
Right.
I'll
So,
try to research on it.
do you know your competition?
Not specifically that. I know the
If
other
you don't know your
competition.
competition, how are you going to get 20% of the market if you don't know what you're competing with?
That's what we're planning to target in the next 18 months or so.
Targeting.
Yes,
Yeah.
targeting.
So what is your competition then? Do you know your competition?
There are a lot of applicant tracking systems that specifically, they don't touch this automated side. They don't have this calling of, automated calling of the applicant. So,
Yeah, they do.
for the one you mentioned, I was not yet aware, but for
You should know
the
you should
other,
invest. You should know your competition. You should know your market really well.
yes,
Who's going to be competing with you?
yes. Currently, the competition I know, they don't, it's the
You
first
need
time.
to do some more research.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will do that.
What's the MVP? Does the MVP include what you actually mentioned all the way to voice already?
Yeah, the MVP includes the voice and the job portal.
You mentioned that it's 20,000 per month, right?
Yes.
As a current recruiter right now, how many applicants manually doing can they actually go through every month
On an average day, more than 50.
with this?
With this one, I think our key competitive advantage would be listening that 16 hours people spend each day. Basically, they don't have to call those applicants anymore manually.
Has it been validated that having that automation with the voice better rather than a person-to-person screening?
Right now, we were able to validate the problem. The problem is real. However, for the solution, we were still.
Before I invest, I want to see a paying customer. At least
Okay.
one or
At
two
least
or
one or
five paying customers.
Okay.
If someone says, yeah, I'm willing to put money on the line, and that means that they're willing to, that's validation for you. But you
Okay.
don't have anything right now.
Okay.
Have you built anything? You built stuff,
Yes,
right?
we're currently building the
Currently
MVP.
built.
Huh?
Okay, come back to me when you've actually got, say, 5 customers.
5 customers.
Yeah, and then I
Okay.
can talk to those customers and say, why do you use it and why is it saving money? Or you can do that and give us a use case. Until then, you haven't got any money. It's only 5 customers, right? Go out and sell some because you've got tech guys, but you don't really have any sales
Yes.
people, do you?
That would be me.
Right. Well, go out and find 5 customers.
Yes.
Because who are you using now to go back and forth to say what would you like us to do for you? Are you just doing it off your own, or are you actually talking to customers and saying?
I'm talking to customers. I'm doing the sales and marketing part.
Right, but you're talking to customers about what they want, right?
Yes.
Are those ones that are willing to pay?
For that part, we did not go into because we don't
If
have.
they talk to them to say what do you want,
Yeah.
you can say you also have to ask what are you willing to pay for this.
Yes.
So have you got that?
That's part of our. We talked to about 2 companies and we've got positive response.
All right, come back to me with 5 promises. Written. We'll pay 20,000 a month for this service when it's done.
Yes.
And
Okay.
then maybe I'll consider investing.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Do you have any other notes, sir?
I'm good.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
My name is Aaron, and I'm co-founder of BookGenie. Books have always been an integral part of our development as a society. We rely on books to transfer information, knowledge, and of course, stories. We started writing on stone, and even today, with all our tech, we still rely on books to do all these transfer of information. Now, despite all of our tech, however, the process of creating a book remains to be an unsolvable, painful experience for authors and potential writers worldwide. Okay. In the Philippines alone, if you're a lawyer wanting to publish your own book or a logbook, or you're a doctor, it would take you normally 6 to 8 months to make that happen, because you need to contact the printer, you need to do the layout, you know how it goes. So the solution that we thought about is fairly simple. This is who we are. Next slide, please, Joy. The solution is very simple. Why don't we create a platform that will allow you to publish a book and share it anytime and anywhere for free? And this platform has to have ease of use. It has to be frictionless so that everyone will want to write their own book. Next slide, please. Now, let me show you how it works first. First, you register for free. It's a free account. Okay, next slide. And then you upload a manuscript that you already have, whether in PDF format or Microsoft Word format. Next slide, please. You fill out the cover. Next slide, please. It's not clear. Well, you choose the design. You choose some add-on menu options like adding copyright registration or ISBN registration, etc. All the essential elements in creating a book. Next slide, please. And then, oops, go back one slide. And then you upload and publish, and then it gives you the ability to share it to your friends and families, even if you're not an unknown author yet. This creates a huge impact for us in the universities, specifically in the Philippines, because teachers and instructors, if they try to publish their own book, one of the biggest challenges as a student in the Philippines, in the university, is that books tend to be very, very expensive. And if your instructor or teacher can just easily upload his own work and just share it to his students, then everyone would be happy, right? The students can view it from their phone or their mobile device or the platform on our website, bookgenie.com. Next slide, please. Next slide. So the good thing about it is that if ever, next, one more. Okay, then. Go back, one more. One forward, please. Okay. Okay, go back. Okay, anyway, the good thing about it is once you've uploaded a book on BookGenie, it will always be there, stored in our system. So if ever you need a physical copy or an ebook copy, you simply go back to your profile and then order the book from there, and we'll deliver it to you in just a few days on your doorsteps. So the competitive advantages that we have is ease of use, storage capabilities, professionally rated market designs, author incentive programs. We're planning on actually launching this on a subscription base for authors and writers. And we're planning to launch ads also for the readers and viewers. We're also planning to add a number of shares. So how many number of shares can you share your own book? So it's free, readers have access to it. And authors have 100% pricing control for instant sharing. Next, please. With an excellent team behind you, yours truly, Aaron. I have more than 15 years experience in the self-publishing industry, in book publishing, that is, because there's a lot of publishing nowadays. Ian, our CTO, more than 9 years experience in application developer in IBM, and Vince, our CFO, is an ISO certified banker. Next. Okay, competition is real, indeed. Amazon CreateSpace is leading this, Lulu.com, Blurb. However, the complexity of creating a book by downloading a software remains unsolvable. Nobody wants to go through the hassle of making sure the format is right, making sure the pixels is right. Nobody wants to do that. So we have a huge potential upside for this. Next, please. Market size, as per Publishers Weekly and the new publishing standard, we're planning to launch this globally. 143, the B can't be seen for some reason. 143 billion market size as per Publishers Weekly report back in 2017. This market has been led by the US, Germany, and then China, and the rest of the world. Next, please. Oh, there's the B. Okay, next slide, please. The last slide. Okay, and today...
Your time's up already.
Okay, yeah.
My biggest, you said it's not impossible to self-publish, and Amazon makes that really easy right now. How are you going to compete with Amazon?
What we're trying to sell is a software.
You're selling the software?
Yes, we are. It's not a software. You see, Amazon KDP right now is the leader in DIY publishing. They call it do-it-yourself publishing, right? The problem with Amazon KDP is number one, it only goes into one format, which is Kindle. So you can't view the book.
That's fine for me. I use Kindle, so
Well,
I'm not your customer then.
Yep, but our target market is virality, so we want to have everyone to use the book on their phones too.
That's where Wattpad comes into the picture.
Exactly, and that's why the concept is validated by Wattpad. The only problem with Wattpad is that it's focused on non-fiction books. You cannot publish a research paper on Wattpad. You cannot share it too. Ours is kind of like Google Docs, where you can send a link to your book and people can just open it from there. So, sorry. We're trying to feed on the virality first by sharing the book. Because if I'm an unknown author or I'm an unknown teacher who writes something about atomic something in the university, I want to share the book to my students, I can easily just send them an invite to open the book on our viewer, and they can read it at home or they can read it wherever they are on mobile.
So you actually mentioned $143 billion is a huge, but majority of that 143 are coming from the fiction.
That's
It's not
right.
coming from
That's correct.
You actually mentioned the research paper from the teachers. That's probably very, very small market.
That's correct. The 143 billion also includes the books to movies, like Harry Potter series. So
Your market is just your specific market is what you mentioned.
our
So, or is that
specific-
an example, or is that your market?
Our specific market is anyone who wants to essentially write a book. So we're starting with authors right now. We launched our MVP 8 weeks ago, and we started with 200 authors because we run a self-publishing company. We're operating this on a separate department. Yeah,
Okay, so Stratton Press is a printer, or is it?
it's a self-publishing company.
Okay, so what are you asking for? Investment in Stratton Press?
No, investment in the spin-off, which is we're going to spin it off 2 weeks from now, because we secured a pledge. It's
Right. Well, the obvious thing is Stratton Press going to get anything from that?
No, it's not. We're going to spin it off totally as a different company.
And so you didn't mention how much money you're looking for.
Yeah, sorry. We're trying to raise $200,000 for a pre-seed round for 15%. We've already secured a pledge from a Hong Kong investor of $50,000. Contingent that we spin off the company in Singapore, and we're thinking of really doing that. I personally will be pledging. We've already spent $10,000 developing this. We will be putting in another $20,000 on top of just to get the.
So who owns
nation.
Stratton Press? You do.
I do, yes,
100%.
80%.
So how did the Stratton Press make money?
Yes, last year we grossed 26 million pesos in sales. That's in Stratton Press alone. So the self-publishing business is very big. It's a high-margin business.
So you grossed 26 million, and you made how much?
We made about 13 million last year.
So why are you looking for 10 million? You already made money.
The 13 million, we kind of, we kind of used it somewhere else. So we put, I think we put around $500,000 already on developing the app. Well, the real story is we had one guy develop the app and we paid him a lot, but he ended up not developing it.
Okay, there's a few facts in here, too many to go into on here. It's a little bit confusing.
Yeah, okay, sir.
So, but the bottom line is the market there, I don't know. I'd have to do my own research on, but yeah, I'm worried about, I would be worried about all the other existing competition already doing this.
Yep, that's right. The closest that we have right now actually is Wattpad. There's also Blurb that's in the US.
Also the one in China that's being backed by Tencent.
Yeah. So you've got a lot of big competition, and you're trying to compete head on with that money.
Right now, this is the actual reason why we want to be, but all of them don't have any sharing capabilities. All of this
Oh, yeah, but
competition.
it's very easy for them to put it in. It's not, it's just
Well,
feature.
that's true.
Yeah.
So that's true.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for that.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thanks.
We can clap if you want. Should we, or is it just for the demo?
I'll explain it to you.
Wait.
Okay.
Is it edible or is it just
Yeah, it's edible. Okay, I'll explain it.
Wait, should we start you off, right? You
Okay,
ready?
yeah, I'll tell you the food first.
What, before you start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me introduce the food first.
Alright.
Okay. This is our petit three. Okay. Well, I will start you with a chicken adobo in chili agua. Then you will come into our deconstruction of utan bisaya.
Okay, Utan Bisaya is like
I'm not a
vegetable
Filipino
first
food
one.
lover, but yeah.
Vegetable first one. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
vegetables,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, okay. The French knows ratatouille. We have utan bisaya.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
What's that one?
Yeah, this is our chocolate panapata. This is our version of the
That one.
puto secoate and mango.
Okay,
I puff the rice, the puto, and then I made,
alright, okay. So that's not, that, you just explain what they are now, you're gonna get to your friend.
yeah, okay. Okay.
And we can try this afterwards, or you want us
Yeah,
to?
you can
While we're
eat it.
listening to you.
Yep.
Alright, we got 5 minutes then.
Hi, I am Aris Castillo. I am the proprietor, founder, and head chef of The Farmer and the Chef. We are a catering service that is elevating the Cebuano cuisine to with French technique. And this is The Farmer and the Chef. We provide catering service. Next slide, please. We provide a unique experience of catering service, appetizer table, the divine stash, and then the green basket. All of this is from my farm, the White Oleander Farm, and from other partner farms, which are organic. Okay, and this is our product. This is one of the product in the divine stash. This is the Dad Box Deluxe. Because the Dad Bod Deluxe is a all meat for the dads, and a side salad for the dad that wants to eat salad. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, and this is one of our products called the Farmer's Crafts. The Farmer's Crafts it's a box filled with all the preserves, cheese, and everything that we do at the farm. Next slide, please. This is one of our farmers. This is in Talamban, and I wasn't able to say, but we are a farm-to-table catering service.
Farm to table catering.
Okay, can next slide, please. Okay, this is our basil. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is the perennial herbs and our greens at the farm.
Where's the
Next
farm? In Cebu?
Yes, in Talamban. Yes, and we practice organic agriculture, and all of this is organically grown. Next slide, please. And okay, next slide, please. The challenge with organic farming is you cannot introduce any chemicals to the land, to the plants. What you always do is put effort and put your care to the land. And our challenges is how to fertilize the land, how to create our own pesticides. And next slide, please. With that, we introduce our animals. We have our goats to break up the land and to eat all the encroaching grasses that's going on the land. Next slide, please. And then to break it all up, we have the pigs for all of our waste. So the pigs will eat it, and then
So you're doing sustainable farming?
yes. Okay, next slide, please. And that's it.
Yeah, but what are you asking for?
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't able to say it. I'm asking 600,000 for 10% of the company.
600,000 more.
Yeah.
Pesos?
Pesos, yes, pesos.
For 10%.
Yeah, for 10% of the company.
I mean, one of my hobbies is
Hydroponics.
hydroponics.
One of my hobbies is hydroponics, so
Okay.
I'm interested in growing stuff, but
Okay.
on the tech side, on high density farming and stuff.
Okay.
But as a hobby, this is the sort of thing I put 600,000 in just to be involved with it,
Okay.
for fun. But
Okay.
when you say farm to table, are you
Yes.
just growing stuff, but how are you getting that from farm to someone's table? Are you going through cooperatives? Are you going through direct? What do you do?
Okay, yeah. We do sell it to their consumers, because yeah, before I created the catering service, I first had the meal delivery system. That I have a page that you contact me through the page, and I post my menu and what I have ready from the farm, and I've developed it, and I'll deliver it to you. And
Okay, so I mean, for the last year, how much did you make?
Okay,
Last 12 months.
okay, here's the story with the farmer and the chef. Okay, by trade, I'm an engineer, but with me,
Not a farmer.
not a farmer, not a chef. Okay. Okay. In my years of going to college, I've studied and worked in kitchens to make ends meet.
We've all been done. I've done it as well, yeah, in my early life.
Yes,
So, is that a hobby for you? Is that a hobby for
okay, yeah.
hobby farming or?
Yeah. Farming and being a chef. Okay. Farming is in my blood. My grandfather was a farmer. He had a farm.
Right.
But he's also a marine engineer. And he comes home, tends to his farm. And I grew up with it. That I should have my own land, I should have my own cattle, I should have my own animals, I should have my own plant. I should be sustainable for my own self.
Right.
That's when I had my own money, I bought my own land, built my own
But can
farm.
you make money out of it?
Yes, actually we do. Yeah. For the farm is sustainable, and for the past year it's been earning up to not since the inception, every year it earns up to 16 million.
What, gross?
Yeah, in gross.
And then
per year.
profit, how much? Every year?
It profits around 8 to 12 million.
And you want 600,000 for?
Yes,
10%.
because I'm not trying to develop the farm anymore. I'm not. I'm trying to develop the farmer and the chef. I want the 600,000 to build a kitchen, a bigger kitchen,
But now
professional
you're
kitchen.
Now you're getting to the price.
I want to build my professional kitchen.
Yeah,
I want to pay my chefs.
yeah.
I want to build my delivery system, and I want to build my platform.
But you haven't got anything yet.
Yeah, I have my own kitchen at the back of my house. It's just a makeshift kitchen. It's not the professional kitchen that we want. And then we rent out kitchens out of culinary schools, and we want to have our own
I
kitchen.
think you're going to need more than 600,000 for that. And if you're going to start delivering stuff to the public, then you've got approvals to go through. That takes a few months, right? You know,
Yeah, yes, it does.
So I think you might need more than 600,000.
Okay, it's just to kickstart the business.
Yeah, but what happens when you run out of money?
Okay, yeah.
Have you broken that down into how much you actually need?
Okay, the 600,000. I need to pay rent for a house that we want to.
So you got a house in mind and you want
Yeah,
to operate.
and
So you're gonna operate that house from inside in Cebu,
yeah, in Cebu.
and then you're going to deliver. You're going to get stuff from the farms, and then
Yes, the
make
farm,
the
the partner
products and
farms.
deliver it.
Yes.
Does anyone do that yet?
Diet in the box doesn't.
Yeah. We're not trying to get into the meal delivery system. We are landing a space in the catering industry.
It's a niche market.
Yes, it's
This
a.
is pretty good. I like this.
Thank you very much.
So you're in the catering business. So for example, if there's a party, we're gonna
Yes.
invite you to become
Yes.
a
Yes, a caterer. Yes.
My father was a chef for 30 years,
Okay.
and then he was doing outside catering, so I know the business very well.
Okay.
And it's a hard business.
It's a difficult business.
Especially for a niche product like this.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not a niche product because we cater to every need that there out there. We're not
I would
just
suggest making it niche
okay.
to start with, so you can create a name for being special.
Okay, yeah. I have not mentioned this. Okay. Yep. Our goal is to create a Cebuano gastronomy. We are pushing the boundaries of food in Cebu. That's why we are deconstructing the Otan Bisaya. That's why we're actually scarificating the Punto Sikwate.
Are you going to do this through, like people come to you and say, can you work on my party, delivering all this stuff?
Yes, we do. And the advocacy goal is to create a sustainable food ecosystem in Cebu.
So have you done any parties already?
Yes, we have. We've the last year we've done a summit with UP with RCE. It is for It's for
Maybe you should do
vegetarian.
one for, maybe you should do one for Ani Marcos, you know.
What's the cost structure of the food? Like, for example, catering, how much would it actually cost per head?
Okay, the lowest that we can offer is 580 per head. That would be our appetizer buffet.
That's
Like if you're going to do an event like this for all these people, then you know,
Yes.
it's hard. So if you become niche market, because this is just pizza, right?
I'm sorry.
This is you know, you buy pizzas and that's too much pizza.
Okay, yeah.
You want to be a bit more niche.
yeah, I think this is good. Getting for a little bit more high end.
High end, yeah, niche.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my suggestion.
Yes, you are.
But I'm interested in the farm. I'd like to visit and do that.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, sure. We can schedule a visit.
Okay,
to the farm.
that's it. You're up. That's good.
Okay.
Thanks a lot for the.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Ira Keener. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Logical, a global online commodity trading platform. Okay, so in the commodity trading space, historically and from personal experience, what we've come to learn is basically commodity trading ends up becoming a very time-consuming process. For instance, when you're out there trying to seek the best price, best buying price for a particular product, like in this case, let's just say petroleum, the traditional method of doing things is to call each individual supplier individually before you can come up with a good price. Secondarily, pricing isn't really, the market isn't really that competitive, especially in the petroleum trading space, because there isn't really a platform at which suppliers can basically compete with one another to foster or to produce like a more downward pressure on pricing. In addition, there's a limited network that's currently available to buyers and sellers. Lack of visibility, and unfortunately this has basically been accepted as the current market norm. Enter Logical. And so what Logical does essentially is basically bring buyers and sellers together in an unprecedented online community. Next slide. So what we found since rolling Logical.
I'm not sure if everyone understands the core of what you're doing. You're building a marketplace to allow people to buy and sell commodities. What kind of commodities? Petroleum.
Right now, oil and gas. But we're going to scale to other products as well.
In the Philippines.
Yes, the Philippines and scale to the ASEAN and then globally.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. So right now, what we found since we basically launched our first version about a month and a half ago is that we can save each of our buyers about 80% from. No, so, I'm sorry. We save them about 80% from the time that they used to be able to take to consummate a transaction. In addition, we've also found that we can increase their productivity by about 5 times. For instance, when somebody needs to call like a source from their supplier, sometimes they have to call five different times to each supplier in order to come up with a price. But now, instead of doing that, they basically just key in their order. That gets disseminated to all of the sellers within the ecosystem. And then all of the suppliers get to key in their offers all at once. That then gets displayed on what we call the over-the-counter bulletin board, where the buyers and the sellers can basically see how their orders rank vis-a-vis one another. And then there's a bit of a competitive selection process, which currently is patent pending in several different countries, which basically fosters competition within the platform. So there's a bit of dynamism that's involved once the prices are displayed on the bulletin board, because there's visibility between all the different sellers. So let's say, for instance, if there were 5 different sellers, each of the different sellers could basically see where they rank, and they can change their price within the specified auction duration, effectively, promoting competition within the platform. And so
You got to speed up a bit.
Sure. Okay. So basically, the average savings that we've come to learn from the month and a half that we've been in operation is that we can save our buyers about 10%. We charge a 1% fee, so basically for a net gain of 9%. In the 1.5 months that we've been in operation, we've already moved 1.1 million liters for a total revenue of 449,000 within the logical, but then total transaction value that's assessed against this is basically at 1%, so 44.9 is the amount of money that's flown through the platform. These are the numbers, based on very conservative estimates that we've garnered from the sample size since we've started. We can certainly discuss that in more detail, subsequent to this presentation. So some of the socioeconomic benefits that we've found that the platform does, and it's been very well received by the Philippine government, particularly the Department of Finance. We presented this to the Secretary himself, and we found that it basically helps eliminate corruption in a way, because now if for instance, like the government has this used as a procurement tool, now all of the transactions are captured within an online database, and when all these transactions are captured, the law. Go ahead. No problem. No problem. No problem. No problem.
Who are the customers that are buying and selling?
Okay, so on the sell side we have Petron, Chevron, Shell, Phoenix, Flying V, Insular
So
Oil.
how many of these are using your platform right now?
Right now, all of them have participated in one way, shape, or form.
And they're sticking with the platform? Or they're
Yes.
sticking out? So you make, they're saving themselves 10% and you're earning 1% of that.
Yeah, the suppliers are basically getting more access to deal flow, and the buyers are saving about 10%, yes.
Buyers normally. Who are your buyers?
So the buyers are basically end users like power plants, mining companies, aviation companies, basically every industry.
And they want to buy the best deal they can for
Yes.
bulk. Like what's the average purchase of?
The average purchase price is basically, well, on a per liter basis, if we look at it on that basis, we're looking at about 35 pesos, like, since.
No, I mean in terms of deal size. Yeah, transaction size.
Oh, okay, transaction size, we're looking at about $1 million to $5 million per transaction.
Pesos, right?
Yes.
So what do you look for? Where you built something already,
Well,
you built some traction.
We basically, okay, so what we want to do is we want to scale across. Right now we're basically spread very thickly in the oil and gas space, but we want to scale coal, crops, coconuts, renewables, and develop the logical light, which is basically designed more for small to mid-sized companies.
So if you're doing things like
Sure.
crops, coconuts, then you're competing against cooperatives? Or
No,
Well-
we're competing with, like for example, for the crops. For example, for the rice, we will be competing with the importers.
Yes.
Because the rice is one of the rice we import a lot.
yeah, now we do. Okay.
So scale across the ASEAN, scale globally, and then eventually
So
develop
this will encourage the local market, or people to buy from the local markets, and they can see the deals that are available.
Yes.
Okay, so you're cutting out certain middlemen then? Or-
Yeah. They're cutting out the middle, they're cutting out because if you look at commodity, whoever controls the volume controls the price.
Right. So the bigger companies would be your customers.
Yes. All of the oil majors have basically already subscribed to the site. We've onboarded them. They are now participating. So if you were to key in an order into the platform right now, you would get offers from each and every single one of them.
And you've made money, you're running this for how long?
For a month and a half. It was originally conceptualized back in 2011, but then there was a lack of smartphone penetration at the time.
Okay.
So now we found it to be the most opportune
How many
moment.
people involved? You and
Me, the total number of people involved, there's 10 of us.
and how many investors have invested already?
Well, so far, the two corporations that I've had over the last 10 years have been the seed and angel investors into this. But now we're looking for a little bit more capital so that we can scale and
All right, so
basically.
let's get to it. How
Sure.
much?
Well, we're basically asking for 50 million for 10%.
Anyone? 50 million for 10%. So you value the company at 500
Yes,
million already?
we ran projections based on empirical data.
But how much are you making right now?
We made $400,000
No, they didn't make-
already.
So you made 400,000
No, we've revenue we've made 440, half a million pesos
in half a million pesos. Not million. That was in dollars. I thought that was dollars.
in 1.5 months. No, that was basically there was no currency attached to it.
Okay.
Okay.
500 pesos.
I thought it was. So that's $500,000 in commissions, and you already value the company at 500 million.
Well, we have the numbers to support it, and we can certainly discuss
Well, the
that.
numbers are 500,000 pesos in 1.5 months.
500,000 pesos in 1.5 months, yes.
Right? So extrapolate that for the next, say, one year, for example, how much will you make?
Yeah, so basically if 500,000, we've ran our feasibility studies and we've seen that we can generate about 1.5 million pesos, 1.5 million pesos in free cash flow per user, and we are forecasting to get 25 users in the first year and then doubling every year thereafter.
So when will I get my 50 million plus?
Between year 4 to 5.
Well, you said I'm happy for me to wait, you know?
If the company goes public, it could happen a lot sooner.
I'm getting old, you know, I want faster returns these days.
Yeah, well, get it to public and it'll get there.
It's interesting. I think nobody's still really doing this kind of model. It's tough though, especially with the commodity, but I think it's a really good idea.
Anyone else doing it, or you're the only ones doing it?
Well, we have patents pending, so we've searched far and wide, and we found that none of the other commodity exchanges basically offer the same competitive selection process.
Patent exactly.
It's on the competitive selection process. It's because it gives the suppliers a chance to basically compete with one another. Because like with a traditional auction, they're all blind. You can't see what the other suppliers are offering.
All right.
So with this platform,
One last question.
sure.
When the deal actually happens, does that mean you're actually holding a certain amount of money for these guys if they don't go through with the deal?
Yes.
Like an escrow.
That's a great question. What we're looking to do is basically all of the transactions are basically cash before delivery at this particular point in time. But we're already in very significant and advanced discussions with the most sophisticated bank, the most technologically sophisticated bank here in the Philippines to extend credit. We're under NDA, so I can't say anything. So basically, it'll allow one to basically get credit from a bank instead, and so the bank can facilitate the transaction. So if the supplier is unable to deliver, we're also going to ask them to get insurance policies for that.
Is this Union Bank you're talking about?
We're under NDA. I can't say who. Sorry. I suffice it to say the most technologically sophisticated bank here is taking interest not only in investing in it, but also in co-developing it with us.
But is it blockchain based? Smart contract?
I can't say. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Okay, I probably know who you're dealing with. So yeah. I think. I don't know. You'll have to talk to me later.
And so
Okay.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. We've gone over time a bit.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations. Well, good
Thank you,
job.
thank you.
So much. A round of applause for everyone who pitched tonight. Okay. So who's gonna pitch next? Anyway, yeah, if you're gonna pitch, yeah, we're done.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
done.
we're done.
Okay.
So that's 6 people who bravely stood here and shared their company. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks a lot for coming on. It wasn't as many as last month. I'm hoping next month we do it again, that we have a few more. Is there anyone here thinking of pitching? Yes? One? Anyone?
After I get 5 sales.
Yeah. It's good to get, I mean, this guy's got traction, so you have to say, oh, that's an interesting model, because he's already got customers willing to use it, paying for it, and so on. When you just got an idea, everyone's got an idea, pitch an idea. And those ideas I might invest in, but sometimes they ask too much money and it's too early. But I am interested in the very early stage ideas because I want to build something with them. But I don't want to have to do it all. All the marketing and sales, that's not something I really want to get into. I'm a tech guy, I like creating stuff. So if anyone wants to create stuff and they have their own ideas, then come to me. It was an interesting crop. I look forward to next month. So if you can spread the word and maybe get some more startups coming, and then come back and listen to the new ideas coming up. So you enjoyed tonight? Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot. See you next month.
Thank you so much.